Hi folks, welcome back to your fourth basic PHP video. In this video I'm going to be covering basic math functions, operators, and then something called an incrementer. And we'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to get rid of the code that I have from our previous tutorial of using variables, and I'm going to set up a variable called first number. And we're going to give that a value of 5. So instead of giving first number a value of or a type of string that we're passing in, we're going to give it a number. And then we're going to give the second number variable, and we're going to give that a value of 10. So we have two variables set up, and we want to spit out the sum of the two. So we can do first number plus second number. And if I refresh our page, we should get 15, which we do. Now, if you want to, I'm going to echo out a break here. And I'm just going to copy this whole statement here. So we have addition. We'll do a subtraction, which is just a minus. Multiplication, you use an asterisk. So the little symbol above the 8 on the keyboard, and you do a / for division. There's something called modulus, which I will add in here, but I'll have to modify my code here. Let's flip these numbers around. So 10 divided by, or 10 and 5, and modulus is just a percent sign, and all that does is it sees how many times the second number goes into the first, and then it'll return the remaining values. So if we have, in this instance, it should return 0 because 5 goes into 10 twice with no remainders. But if we were to do 4, it should give us a remainder of 2. And I'll show you that in a second. So if I save this, come back out to our page, and we should have 15, 5, 52, and 0. And again, that's just the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then modulus. If I were to change this to a 4, come back out here and refresh the page, you see that the modulus changes to 2. And if you do 10 divided by 4, it should give you a remainder of 2. So that's simple math functions. Let's do something a little more complex. Let's get rid of this whole statement here, and we will add a third number. So now we want to echo out a statement, which is 10, the first number, first number times the second number, and then we want to, second number divided by whatever the third number is. So because our basic math functions, or math tells us to do everything in parentheses first, and then do our remaining values afterwards. So if we come back out to PHP and refresh, we should get 0.4. which all that is 10 times 4 divided by 100, and that's exactly what we get. So you can do basic math functions. Some of the other things that you can do is actually using some built-in math functions, which round is one. And all that round does is it's a built-in function for rounding. And this will round it either up or down based on whether it's 5 or greater or not. So we should get 0 in this instance. And the reason for that is we get 0.4, which is less than 0.5, so it automatically rounds down. If I want to round up to the nearest number, I can use the ceiling function. The ceiling function will round it up to the nearest full value. So if I were to come to my page and refresh, we get 1. Let's do something that's a little more complicated. Let's do 10 times 4 divided by 100,000. And using the round functions, we'll just do round. we can actually specify how many decimal places we want. So the precision of this. We can go to 3 decimal places if we wanted to. So if I save this and refresh the page, that didn't work out too well. Let me change my values here. We'll do 50 times 1,000. 50,000 divided by 4895. So we should get some pretty large number. So let's refresh. And if we were to take this round method out, if I were to just use this, I'll show you how they compare. So our default value will spit out this long number with a bunch of decimal places. But if we use the round function with a precision, we can actually get it down to the nearest hundredth or thousandth, I believe. So we can use these functions pretty easily, and I believe the other ones follow the same standard. So you have ceiling and floor if you want to round down. That's as far as I'm going to go with the math operators, but there are a lot more available in the PHP out of the box. So definitely take a look at php.net and look at some of the math functions that they have available.